Fransisco in 1981 and 1982 was truly a land to behold, a countercultural oasis attracting youth of all stripes to its bounty. Teenage runaways, punk rockers, industrial art types like Mark Pauline at Survival Research Laboratories, college art types, and just young people everywhere we turned. Everyone was trying to figure out how to survive, but our new friends, the fuckettes, had it wired. First, you get on food stamps, and that amounted to about $90 a month. No one in Texas I knew was on food stamps. It was a large cultural shift to get used to being on the dole, but then you get used to it. Then you get on general assistance, which was trickier. They might require you to show up and clean some city buses twice a week. People on general assistance received $155 twice a month. Finally figured out where the soup kitchens were, when they were serving. Some kitchens, like the one at the Hamilton Methodist Church in the Haight, served an early vegetarian lunch. There you could run into hundreds of punk rockers, and it was fun and glorious. Everyone checked in with each other, like tribal family of sorts on Thanksgiving. You could eat with us. Gary Floyd of the Dicks, DRI, Verbal Abuse, the Fuck-Ups, the Fuckettes, Condemned to Death, the SF Skins, Jack's Skate Team, Darren H. Poliro of the Dead Kennedys, poets like Diamond Dave and Tracy Anarchy and Kathleen Woods and Mitch the Bitch, Carol and the Lennon Brothers ran a studio, Crucifix, The Witnesses, Dan Mackey and Jenny Lush, cool, fun, young hipsters on the scene. Just hundreds and hundreds of punks. Kurt Brecht of Dirt Rotten Imbeciles was living in a tree in Golden Gate Park. You could literally look him up. There's my joke there. Insert laughter. A bunch of us punks moved into an abandoned beer brewery known as the Vats. It started out as a work and exchange for rent type of place. Many bands gravitated here very quickly. With the power of word of mouth, all types followed. A lot of free places to crash were provided by this giant 6-story building. They also had an S&M dungeon there that was quite kind of cool. All kinds of things going on. Art gallery, just all kinds of things. It was a twilight of hobo punk heaven. It was here I reconnected with Jenny Jo Brown, who I'd met at the University of Tampa years before, and she would end up to become the mother of my son Jesse. Many bands of various stripes were part of this large warehouse space. There were punk shows, art exhibits, studio spaces created. It started out very idealistic, tried to stay that way. Sadly, in time, with many of the bands being busy on tour like we were, many unsavory types, drug dealers, gang types, junkies, started moving in and abusing the space and its residents. Someone suffered a drug overdose there, and all of a sudden the VAS showed up on the radar of city officials. Soon, everyone was a victim. The building was gutted in 1984. Many people fondly remember the idealistic intentions of this residence, while others can't help but recall some of the unfortunate problems that occurred in such a free space. One time in late 1982, Minor Threat came to town, and Ian held me to that cooked meal I promised him when they fed us in D.C. that spring before. I took them to St. Martin de Porres Soup Kitchen to treat Ian to their famously rock-hard grilled government cheese sandwich, right before heading over to the sound check and a hot show at the On Broadway. This was San Francisco's golden age, a time when street punks shared everything. We all looked out for each other. It was a special time. We didn't have much, but we had our scene. Many of the names mentioned are people that have passed away far too early. For those that are gone early, rest in peace. And that's there. And I've told you a lot about where I'm coming from, where I'm going.